Hey guys, as a lot of y'all know, I do own a car dealership, and I got a lot of other things going on, but I wanted to kind of talk through how and what's going on with the dealership currently, and I kind of want to take you guys on the ride as this kind of all goes underway. And so basically, what I'm hoping to be able to do is to make videos every day, or most days, to kind of discuss the ins and outs of owning a car dealership and where I'm trying to take this thing versus where it's currently at. And so here we are, especially during these challenging times. It's kind of crazy right now, right? So the reality is what I have currently is a buy here, pay here dealership. And I also have a lender who, up until last month, I was the number one dealer, my understanding, on the east coast of Florida, and that journey has been over the course of 12 months. That we started about 12 months ago, and from December to April, we were the number one dealer in our region, and my understanding is that one of the top ones in the entire East Coast of Florida. And now this last month, just crashed and burned. Now, I do know there are a few other dealers that the way this kind of lending program works is I buy a car for a certain price. The lender, gives me a certain amount of money. Hopefully, if I do the buying right, they give me money over top of the price I paid for the car. And at this particular lender, I actually get payments in the rears after that bank breaks even. I get a percentage of those payments in the back end, right? It's a really, really cool program. I haven't actually gotten any payments yet. Like I said, we started 12 months ago. And if you really think about it, if it's a $10,000 car, let's say that I sold, and let's say they advanced me $5,000, then they have to wait for payments, which let's say it's $200 a month. That's only $2,400 a year, right? For them to break even, that takes 2 years for them to break even before they start giving me payments. But it's really based on a whole group of payments. It's not just per car, right? It's a whole grouping. So as let's say 50 or 100, 200 cars in that group, finally they break even on all of those, because you're going to have repossessions, you're going to have insurance claims, things like that occur. I mean, there's so many things that occur during a car deal in a car's life, especially when it has a loan on it, that are important, that factor into those things. It's going to be important for that bank to make sure they break even on all those things. And once they break even on those, statistically, they're like, okay, we'll pay out this much, right? So it's kind of the deal. And hopefully in the next 24 months, we'll have payments coming in from that, which is going to be great passive income for the dealership. And so it's a long-term play. That's kind of what we're thinking through with that one. So we have at our dealership, we've started to see kind of this recession looming, right? Like it's maybe it's here, maybe it's not. So our thought process is basically, let's gather up a lot of cash so that we're safe in terms of a downturn. It's all of our own money, right? Let's also make sure that any floor plans, which we do have a floor plan. We started with this new dealership, with this new lender, I'm sorry. We get a floor plan out, which is basically like a line of credit with a bank, right? They basically say, okay, here you go. Here's $100,000. Buy cars with it. As the car sells, you pay us, whatever piece that was back, right? And we do that. We didn't have to do it before. We buy here, pay here. We used our own cash. Cars were not as expensive as they are currently, so that's kind of where we went into the floor plan. And as of right now, we have, I think, like 5 of the cars are on a floor plan to the tune of it's probably about $40,000. So there's about $40,000, which we have more than that in cash reserve, so it's not a problem for us financially. And that's kind of what we've been trying to make sure that we do. We never buy cars or spend more than we actually have available liquid cash, right? Because you don't want to be one of those companies or those car dealerships like I've seen that go out and get the floor plan company gives them $100,000 to spend. They spend the full $100,000, don't sell nearly that many cars, don't have the cash, and end up going bankrupt, right? Or go out of business, and then all of a sudden their credit's shot. All sorts of bad things happen. So we kind of set up ourselves with 3 different tiers, right? We always were buy here, pay here, but then we got this new lender that allowed us to sell cars in the, let's say, retail range of, let's say, 9,000 to like 15,000 seems to be the sweet spot. You can go higher, you go lower, but that seems to be really the sweet spot for them, between what you can actually get in a spread on a car, right? and they use Black Book to value their cars. A lot of other dealerships, I mean, a lot of other lenders will use NADA or NADA is what it said. And so between these two, it's just two places that come together and say, a wholesale value of a vehicle is this, or a loan value is this. And, it gives a lender, without them having to go through all the work, an idea of how much a vehicle is worth, right? So they know how much to give me. So they're not giving me, it's like an appraisal. Honestly, the Black Book and NADA are kind of like an appraisal company. Like when you're going to buy a home, you're going to appraise the house. The lender is going to appraise the house to make sure that it's worth what they're going to give you, because the bank doesn't want to be on the hook for that kind of stuff, right? So what we started at our other dealership was with this lender, we had our standard buy here, pay here. And then what we also found was another bank that kind of gives us a really good lending program in between that. So with the lender, you have to have good credit. With our buy here, pay here, you don't have to have good credit. You don't have to have any, really. And with this middle group, you don't have to have good credit. You can have whatever you want. This lender will advance us a bit of the down payments. I mean, a bit of the value of the vehicle, which is good. They'll handle the payments for us. They take a percentage of that to make less money. But what the idea is that you get to give a customer a better car. So let's say our buy here, pay here's go up to like $6,000, sometimes $7,000, right? Because they're more of, catering to lower income people that can't afford a larger payment, a larger price. And then this was a great medium from, let's say, the 6K retail to, let's say, that 9 to 10K retail, right? So you're looking and spreading yourself out. So if somebody comes into my dealership, I got a car from, let's say, $3,000 to $6,000 that I can sell them, a $6,000 to $10,000, and let's say a $10,000 to $20,000 range, right? I have these three tiers, depending on what they're looking for. And so somebody shouldn't come on my dealership with money and not leave with a car unless I don't have the car for them, which does happen. I mean, you get plenty of people that come to the dealership, they have $200 and a 390 credit score, and they say they want a $25,000 car. I've got nothing for you, bud, and I don't think anybody else does. Your expectations exceed your value in the market, right? So it's kind of just the reality. And so what I think is important is to expand this thought process of how I'm working through, a possible downturn. I would figure a lot more people will come from the 600, 700, 800 credit scores down to my tier, which is perfect. Just make me even my business even larger. But it's all theory, right? I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I can't predict it. So I wanted to have these three tiers, and this is kind of the way my business is now operating. This is kind of what we're working towards. And so with that in mind, I wanted to keep you guys in the loop on what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. I kind of wanted to update you every day because it's not roses and butterflies all the time, and it rarely is. I mean, I had some crazy stuff. I have an employee that is great and bad at the same exact time. It will drive you insane. I've got so many things that happen at the dealership on a daily basis that I could walk you guys through, and it just, a day in the life is just insanity to me. So what I wanted to do is kind of talk you guys through that stuff. I wanted to let you know how it is running my dealership. And I have a few other cool things that I'm working on, but I really don't have time or really don't want to explain those right this second, because I'm still getting the kinks worked out and up and running. But the second that I started up, I will let you guys know and keep you guys informed on that. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this little segment of the video. I'm going to do more of these explaining kind of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. Got any questions about what these lenders are or anything like that, just let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys in the next video.